Hello and welcome back to Factorio Vanilla 1.0. In our last episode, we finally started launching rockets, and in fact, another rocket with a satellite has launched in the time between the episodes. But we also started doing some base upgrades all over the place, mostly surrounding the bringing in of the iron from the trains in here into all of the smelting arrays. We have 7 steel smelting arrays. We have 9 iron smelting arrays. That will use 16 belts of iron from the trains, which is how many we have here. We didn't really need 9 iron smelting arrays. 8 would have probably been fine, or maybe even less. But I figured since we had 16 belts coming in, might as well use them. So then we have also 12 belts of copper coming in that we had done several episodes ago, a large percentage of which is of course going into green circuits, but now green circuits is starved out of iron, so that's what we brought the iron in the last time. In between the episodes, in addition to letting a bunch of red belts get made, I also accelerated the red belt production process by switching out all of them all to be Assemblers Mark III. That gives you that nice 66% boost to production speed without very much more cost or effort, so it's worth it. So what I want to do first this episode is hook up 2 more of these belts of iron into the green circuits here. So I want to take this bit like this and shift click it and take out all belts, but leave the undergrounds. And that will let me put this one in here and this one in here. And yes, I see the alert for the damaged thingy. It's probably a wall piece, and I'm not that worried about it. Alright, so we're going to take this one down into there, but we're going to take this one first into there, and then that one can go there. Actually, no, this one goes here, not there. And so those 4 belts would be the first 4 that go into, the first 4 belts there would be the ones that go into green circuits. We need to do this, of course, and this, of course. And that gives us plenty of green circuits getting made. I see that I placed this down off by 1, but I'm not going to fix it. Not going to do it. Hold on, Wally, don't do it. So how does that boost, once it gets all the way down there, how does that boost our green circuits production? Still working on it. It's got to build up. Getting attacked again here. Getting attacked all the time. I guess we could go out with the artillery train and do some more shooting, but I don't know if I really want to. Actually, it's not giving us that much more. We're barely having more than 2 belts. We just got 2 belts full still. I think we did the numbers the last time, and it was like 64 factories making green circuits and 96 making wire, and we only have half that many, so we should only be getting 2 belts out of this anyway, even with the extra iron coming in. So I might have to do something different here, and I'm not sure exactly what different I want to do. But that different might just be, because really this array, the way that it is, will only consume 2 belts of iron and 3 belts of copper at this point. The thing that I probably should do would be to put the 3/1 productivity modules in here, and that would give us what we need in much shorter, actually still not shorter, but it would give us much more for what we have here. But the problem is that array requires a much closer ratio of copper wire to green circuit assemblers than we currently have at the time. So that's not a great thing to do, because I'd have to redesign or rebuild this whole thing. It's almost 1-to-1. It ends up being something like, let me pull out a calculator and I will calculate it. It ends up being about 7-to-6, I think. Yeah, about 7-to-6. 7-to-6 would give us a little bit extra. So, I mean, you can't really do that kind of array with in vanilla because you don't have fancy inserters to do that with, and I sure don't want to put copper wire on a belt if I don't have to. So the other option would be just to do 1-to-1 and end up with about 55 pairs of machines, which might actually work. But maybe we can actually work on designing that. Actually, we're getting a bit of half of a third belt here, so my estimates are a little bit off. but it could be that they're not getting fully used either because we are not doing any research. So research that's good to do. Worker robot speed is always good. Mining productivity is always good. If you're dealing with any enemies, any of these other ones are good, depending on what you're using for your defenses. We're using lasers primarily with some backup with the bullets, so this would probably be a good one for us to do. It's also fairly cheap at only 1,000, whereas this one's 1,000, but that one's 2,500. Follower robot count would require us going out there to fight the biters, and I have no interest in doing that, so I'm not going to do anything with this one. If you are playing a 100% achievements run, though, you will need to do a little bit of this one in order to get the achievement for achievements. What is that called? This one, 100 combat robots or more following you. Minions. Right now, our combat robotics following count is something like 50 or so. I don't know that it's here. Oh yeah, it's 50. So you have to do a few of these researches in order to get that up to 100, in order to be able to get that. Yeah, we have to do this 5 times in order to get that up to be able to get that achievement. So if you are working on achievements, that one's an easy one to get as long as you do this research 5 times. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do lasers. And now we have, by the way, we have the unlocked research queue because we launched a rocket. So, and I'm going to do worker robot speed, and then I'm going to do mining productivity. And I'll do those 3, and then probably going to repeat the effort. I do potentially want to do this one as well, though. Yeah, let's go ahead and throw that one in there, too. And that'll probably repeat the effort. But at least that'll start drawing some science. The rest of these last 2 belts of iron here need to come onto the bus at some point. And we have 9. We have 4 going in here, and we have 3 of them here going onto the bus. And we had plans for the 4th one here. But what I might do is just take these last 2 down and bring them in and loop them into the bus somewhere down here. Because we do need to actually extend the iron bus a little bit more. We also need to do some upgrades to the copper bus, which is going to completely tax our production of belts at this point. Although it is actually idle right now. So you want let's make the bots work a little bit, and I will do a massive bus upgrade for copper. I'm not going to do the hop skip belts here or anything that's tucked underneath. I'm just going to do the the bus itself and the splitters themselves. Because everything that's pulling off of the bus is only going to be a yellow belt anyway, because we planned it that way. That goes there, this goes here. And all this copper is getting pulled all the way to the end here, really, pretty much. I don't know what that one's from, but I'll leave it there. I don't care. For the low-density structures, they use the primary percentage of your copper on from your bus. And actually, we need, I think it's 3.6 blue belts. So it's like 5 point something red belts of copper. So we're actually going to end up upgrading those to blue as well before all is said and done. Steel we need to also do some extending with here. But what I think my plan is going to be is to take this belt out. That was the 4th iron belt. And add in those other 2 iron belts some point later on in the process. The question is when. As far as iron usage goes, a lot of it's getting sucked into the mall if we're doing production. But as far as iron usage goes in the base, military science uses a large portion. They're hardly using any here and here. I mean, they're using some, but it's not that much. Otherwise, it's things like motors and things like that that use the most, I think. Yeah, I think that's where it's used the most. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to tie those belts in maybe somewhere around... you know what? Actually, I will run one of them down where I just pulled the whole thing out. Let's just steal this thing back, because that looks really good. Almost really good. Oops. You're in map mode, Wally. And let's put this back. I lied. I want to put this back. And I'm going to make the base bots do it so that they don't have to choose between supplying me and supplying my bots. This is some shenanigans that I did. So I think I'll do that one. And then, good lord, where the heck is the 4 anymore? I think it's right here. And then we'll do that. So I changed my mind. YouTuber's prerogative, I guess. And we'll just take this one in here. And then this other one... must have been a belt sneaking in there. This other one can come in... Actually, I will go ahead and build it myself. Here, I think. Yeah, I think we'll do here. And then that'll bring this belt in, and we'll probably connect this up right after Blue Science, because that should be the earliest time... Oh, jeez. Get out of there, Wally. That we need to actually have... This goes there, and this goes way down here. What kind of crazy person did this? This should go under, but where the curve is, I'm just going to do it like that. You go here. And then, I don't remember where Blue Science is. I'm probably walking past it. No, I'm not, actually. Let's put it in... Let's bring it in right in here. Or maybe before Blue Science? I don't know. Yeah, I'll bring it in right here, actually. I'll bring it in right on this feeder line for Blue Science. I can bring it in right there. And that should be good enough, I think. So I'm gonna go here. The bots are still doing the upgrades. That's good. This goes here. And then I'm going to do the same kind of thing to... Oops, I did it backwards. To rocket fuel as I did to that iron belt. So it's kind of a payback situation. And we'll go this way and that way. And what's up? Oh, I made the bots build those. The first part. Alright, so this should come in and get extended properly. I'm going to take a bunch of this and just go this way. And then we'll come back through and put down the splitters for shifting. Is that the end of what iron is used for? Yeah. So see, the bus starts to run out of products at some point, or run out of need for products at some point. Ooh, look at all the space science trucking along there. So I think the last iron we needed was right here. And we'll do output priority right. Is that actually, yeah, it might be. Okay. And you don't need a full belt. Excuse me, sorry. You don't either. I mean, I'm putting a full belt in, but it doesn't need to be a full belt. It's just there because it's convenient. And that should be good then. Because I think, yeah, that's where I started with the... Yep, several of the shifters should be good. And so that'll take those 5 belts and shrink them down to 4, basically. And that should be enough for what we need. If my numbers are all correct, which no promises there. But it looks like we need... It looks like we actually only need about 2.5 or so belts for the science itself. So most of this actually does go to the mall. But, and it can, actually this can stay as red. We don't need to do the upgrade here. Alright, so green circuits is looking a little bit better. It's the better part of 3 belts. After these first shifters. So a little bit, that's after a little bit's gone into the various malls, I think. But it's looking pretty good. You're still building because you're delivering to me. Or are you? No, actually you're not. You can have those 2 back. But but because I did this upgrade, that helps a lot. The other thing you can do here is put some speed beacons in. You can put a speed beacon in right here, which will affect these assemblers, and one here. And you can even put one right here and one right here, which will affect these gear assemblers as well as the yellow belts. Although right now I think our bottleneck is just time. And so you can put speed modules right into the machines themselves, but then you need to make these stack inserters too. So that's an option if you really need more faster belt production, or build another belt array separate from them all that produces belts in a much higher quantity. So the next thing I'd like to do is continue with the upgrades to science, because we need to now upgrade all of science to use the the assembler 3s. And so that's kind of, we're just going to, now the process is, let's upgrade the everything. And we need to check our numbers. We always need to check our numbers when we do upgrades with this, because we do have all yellow belts coming in. Oopsie. Now you're going to go help. Okay, that's fine. That means that they'll be bringing them to me, but it's fine. It works out in the end anyway. So with red science, in order to make 2.5 science per second, which is 150. 90 is only 1.5, which is 150 science per minute, which is our production goal at this point. We need to have, I'm going to switch this to yellow belts, just so that I can use the yellow belts as a guide here. We need 0.4 yellow belts of iron and 0.2 yellow belts of copper. I'd say we're good. So we don't need to upgrade these feeder belts beyond yellow. They're good to go. And then next, of course, is green science. And same rules apply. We need 0.8 yellow belts of iron, so we're good there. We have a full belt coming in. But we probably should do this because it's greater than half. So we should actually force a full belt down here. And then we need 0.2 belts of green circuits. So really, honestly, we could have made this just a half a belt of green circuits. It's fine. But once it's down there, it's belt storage, so it's kind of a who cares situation. And I really honestly didn't need to do this upgrade either. So I think I'm going to undo this one. Oh, I did everything upgraded, didn't I? No, I didn't. Wait, what did I upgrade? What didn't I upgrade? I think I upgraded too much. Yes, I did. This does not need to be... We need 0.2 belts of each of these. 0.2 yellow belts of each of these. So I should be careful in doing this and only upgrading the machines and not the belts, just because they don't need it. This one here also doesn't need it. And I missed some of this, apparently. Oh! So, and the only reason I'm saying that is because of how much of a belt upgrading we're going to do elsewhere. I would rather have this be, have the belts stay yellow when they can, just so that we don't have to overtax the bots with the upgrades. Alright, so the next science is gray science. Let me expand that one out. And gray science, as far as yellow belts of input items go, we need to upgrade the machines, of course. Let's upgrade those. You, and all of you. And this down here, of course, is just that production of explosives and whatnot, so we don't need to worry about that necessarily. Okay, so we have... let's see, exactly, or just under a half a belt of copper coming in. That's good. That's what we have. And a half a belt of, and a fraction of a belt of steel coming in. So that's perfect. Why is there more copper than steel? Wouldn't those be the same? No, they're not. That's why. Okay. Yeah. So just a fraction of a belt of steel. So this belt is fine. Iron. Let's see. We only have one iron belt coming in. We're using it for both, so we only count this once. We need 0.8 belts of iron. So once again, I'm going to force a full belt down here. It should be fine because we're splitting a red belt, but I want to make sure that this yellow belt gets the priority here. And if you're splitting a red belt into a red belt and a yellow belt, depending on usage, the yellow belt's only going to get about a third of the stuff, I think, is how the math would work out. No, maybe we get half. Maybe we get half. But either way, it's better to force it in here if we know that we need more than a half a yellow belt just to be safe. So then that one's good. Coal, we need 0.9, but this is where the coal ends anyway. And in fact, let's just do this and end the coal right here. NU right here. And we'll do that to recycle, or to straighten that up, neaten that up. So that's the entire coal belt that's coming in. However, we could end up with a problem because this is getting pulled off of the red fuel belt, and it's being shared with all of the smelting in this area, and so it might end up not being a great situation. But we talked about that already, and we were going to straighten this squiggle out here a little bit, and bring in the coal. Probably 2 belts of coal. Have one that goes into smelting, and then, or maybe just bring them both in, split them both either direction with the smelting, and then here and here, and then force them together into one belt to continue onto the bus. I think that would work out okay. And I think it'll look nice. So that's in the plan for the future. And then the final input product here is stone brick, which we need 0.9 belts of stone brick. So we actually need more stone brick on the bus than we have right now. Our total factory needs for stone brick, by the way, is find the line for the total factory. Oh, it's gotta be, there it is. It's actually it's actually about 2/3 of a red belt. So we actually need to upgrade this. It's basically like a belt and a half of a yellow belt. So we need to upgrade this, actually, all the way back here. So I'm going to go ahead and come back here and do that now. But actually, you know what I should do here is, because I'm looking at this and I'm seeing that. No, I'm not going to do it. I was going to move all these down, but I'm not going to do it. That's too much. I'm going to start this upgrade. I'm going to turn this off and do this upgrade here. And I missed, but that's fine because I need to do some more anyway. That goes there. Stupid belt was moving, wiggling around. How much stone do we need for the whole factory minus what's used for stone bricks? 12.5, so not even a full yellow belt. So I can actually take this back all the way to here and not even worry about that other belt there. Although I do want to change the way this is working, so I think I will. And actually I'm going to take this out. Take you out. I should just take the whole doggone thing out. And then we're going to take this upgrade. And this upgrade. All the way back to the train unloading itself. Oh, I could have gotten run over there. Lucky me. Alright, I need to straighten this out to the red belt, just so that they don't have to. There. And then they're going to pick all that up and put it in the trash boxes, which is fine, because then I want to take this belt that's going onto the bus, and that's when I'm going to make the landfill. I'm going to use this belt. Since we don't need a full red belt anyway, we need less than a full yellow belt. We have plenty of stone left over then. And I can actually probably just take what's pulled into the mall, I think, and make the landfill out of it at the end of the mall. That's probably a good place to do. But we're actually not going to use... Well, we might, because we need to probably continue expanding out. Wait, was the stone brick need to be upgraded too? Yeah. Don't be a dummy, Wally. Upgrade the stone brick while you're at it. Or we went over there to begin with. And then here. And then here. There and there. Did you do that one? They did do that one. And the problem is when I do this stuff, it makes the bots mad because I'm getting a bunch of more stuff from them. I didn't even do these. I need to do those too. It makes them mad because they have to do a bunch of stuff that they didn't want to have to do. Those got done. Is that done? Yeah, that's done. Okay. Back to where we were. Here. Technically, stone brick can stop... Well, technically, stone can stop here. And stone brick can stop... I think it's here. Is that true? Is purple science the last time that stone and stone brick are used? Yeah, so technically we could pick up these belts, which we talked about before. I don't know. I kind of like them all to go to the end at the same place. On the other hand, having belts just sitting here full of crap is not great either. But I think we'll just do it. I'm just going to put these down. And actually, they should all go down to here eventually. Let's see. Can I just do like a swath in the middle here? Yes, I can. And then I could do the same with these two. I don't necessarily want to. I'm going to anyway. Except that one I'm going to stop right there because I don't want to go under. And I guess I'm not doing it consistently because I dumped coal and... I don't know. What should I do? I don't know. I'm going to leave it alone. Okay, so stone and stone brick are getting upgraded now. That's the key part of this. So now we're... I think our point was we were back here at science, and we needed to push a full yellow belt of stone brick off here. So I want to do output priority to the right here, so that it pushes a full belt of stone bricks, because we need a full yellow belt because we needed 0.9 there. So that's good to go whenever it's time. And the other advantage to this being a yellow belt, by the way, I know like some people like to do red belt here, or red belts in, and stuff like that. The other advantage of this being a yellow belt is these inserters will start picking up on the far side, which balances the usage a little bit of this belt. So that's kind of a nice thing to do too. Okay, so now blue science. Sorry, I need to take a drink. Blue science, if we stay with the yellow belts... Let's do the upgrades to the machines. You. Long line. Maybe I should start doing my blue... The problem is the sharing of the belt with the gray, but we could do it differently. More like I'm do the engines here, where I split the thing so it's not nearly as tall. That one, this one, and that one. Okay, so we have sulfur coming in. We need basically no sulfur, so that's fine. It's such a tiny amount. It's 1.25 per second, because basically it's one sulfur for every one sulfur for every 2 science packs, which is half a sulfur per science pack. And then we have the red circuits. We need to upgrade the red circuit thing. We need to get to that. The red circuits coming into blue science, we need 3.75, so that's not even half a yellow belt. That's a quarter of a yellow belt, so we're fine with that one. Steel's coming in at 2.5, so again, only needed a half a belt, not even a half belt of that, a quarter of a belt, less than a quarter of a belt of that. And then iron comes in here at 10.7 yellow belts, so I'm going to force that into be a full belt as well. And since that's where we're bringing in the extra copper or extra iron here, that works out pretty well. Science, we're not getting enough blue science? Is that just because that's the one I just did? So it's not caught up with the rest of them yet? Probably. Because the purple and yellow have more belt storage. I think that's why. But what we should do for science is this. We should put in productivity modules. As many as we can afford. Which may be all of them. Where's my bot coverage? Oh, I'm outside of the logistic range. Okay. As many as we can afford, which ideally should be all of them. But the reason you put productivity in your labs... Oopsie. Oh well. is, I just looted some, is because the, and now we're out of white science, is because the science is your end game here. And the more productivity you put on science, the less of everything you need. So you always want a productivity or science at some point at least. And we're getting productivity modules back. What are on the way? Are they all on the way? They're all on the way. So I'm going to wait till they top me off, and then we'll go put the rest in. I don't know how many more I need. Guess I could find out. We need 30. And I have all of them. Okay. I'm just going to do this. And then we have fully productivity science, which means that we'll get more bang for our buck for everything as we're doing our science researches here. Okay, red circuits. We need a ton of red circuits for the whole base. I'm just going to look at the red circuit total production needs for just science alone, or yeah, just science alone, or the entire bus alone, I should say, or what's needed for science in its entirety. We need to have 0.7 belts, 0.7 blue belts of red circuits, and so that is 1.9 yellow belts. So technically, red circuits can stay in a yellow belt because we are producing, we are providing 2 half belts here and 2 half belts over on the other side. The only issue potentially is, oh no, this is clear out of the way. We did do this on purpose. Excellent. The only issue is we need to upgrade these to that, and that, and this. And now we need to, I figured out how much we can actually produce here. So if we were to just go ahead and make exactly 2 yellow belts, we need 144 factories making red circuits. So that would be, divide that by 4, that's 36 factories making red circuits in each column of these 4 columns. Remember, we have 4 columns. We have 2 more over here. Of these 4 columns, we need 36 factories making red circuits. And just to check the math on that, we need 60 total copper coming in combined. Actually, let me put this, let me change my numbers here. I'm going to cut this down to the half belt measure. So each one of these partial columns. In each one of these partial columns, in order to produce a half belt, 7.5 red circuits, which is what this column alone, from this point here to this point here, is producing, is 7.5. We need 1 full yellow belt of copper. We have a half a belt here and a half a belt here, so we're good. We need 1 full yellow belt of plastic and 1 full yellow belt of green circuits. So we need to upgrade the inputs here for green circuits and plastic, because that now needs to be a red belt so that it's 2 half yellow belts. There. Do this already? And then all the way down to the end. Yeah, because we need 15 of each, and the only way to get 15 of each is to have a red belt like this. So I'm going to do the same thing to the other side. Go there, there, and this one goes here. I should be doing this in map mode, I suppose. But it's okay. And so that should take care of our green circuit and plastic needs here. We're shifting a full belt in there, full red belt, which is getting split now. By the way, half of the red belt goes down this way, half the red belt goes up this way, and then into these arrays. So that should balance out this array perfectly, assuming that we have 36 machines plus 6 machines. We should have 42 here. And we have 42 if you count both colors. 27 and 15 is 42. So this is actually the right length. We just needed to increase that belt speed. And we'll need to do that for the other red circuit array as well. Because now that we've added, or we've upgraded the machines, we needed to add the additional production here. And I'm trying not to overtax things here too much. We turn this off. I'm going to push all this back out into the network so that they'll come and get it and use it. So that I don't have to have my bots on and doing it, especially if we're doing this in map mode. So I'm going to go over to the other red circuit array and do the same thing. So that way we don't forget what we have to do and have to recalculate it all. That, and then we do this here up to there for now, and this here down to there for now. Actually, I just thought of something. Each one of these quarter arrays, where are we at to start with here, needs 30 copper wire. Oh, but it's partialized. Never mind. Never mind. It needs 30 copper wire, but because we're not producing all the copper wire at the top, we're producing it as it's needed, effectively, 1 and then 6. We don't have to worry about copper wire needing a faster belt, because we're only ever producing 5 copper wire per second for each one of these portion arrays, quarter arrays, or half arrays. Okay, so I did the whole column there. Let's do this here then. And then this goes here then. And that there. Don't want to forget that one. That goes there, and this goes here. And then these ones. And then this one. And we're pushing, again, a full red belt in here. So I think plastic is one of the things we're going to have to upgrade to blue belts, by the way. And more than think. I know we're going to have to. Because we only have 2 belts for it. And we have way more than that as far as this goes. Batteries, I don't think we're using that many batteries. We're using 3 batteries for the entire factory, not counting the mall. We're using 3 batteries per second, which is 12 chemical plants. We have 12 exactly. What did I do? Undo. There we go. So I guess what I could do here is upgrade... is add a few more, just to make sure we have enough for them all. And when I say a few, I think maybe 4 at most. But I need to figure out, I need to look at how much iron and copper we're using here in the... so let's see, 12 of those factories is using 3. So we could easily go up to 24, 30, I think, before we had a problem with a yellow belt input. So I'm just going to add 4 more, and we'll call that good. Add, let me copy 6, or most of 6, and then I'm going to line it up like this. And then we need to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is where the new turnaround thingy needs to go. And then this one goes away. Oopsie, that one goes away. And then I need to pick this up and throw those batteries out. If they didn't go into my... They didn't go out of my auto trash. Or did they? Battery. Nope, they didn't. Okay, I'm just going to actually throw them into one of these assemblers. Or these chemical plants. So that will produce... 16 of these is going to produce 4 batteries per second, which should be more than enough for what we need. I mean, some of them are going to the basis bots and stuff like that, but this should cover us, I hope. If not, like I said, we can always go up to we can go up to 30 before we have a problem. So this will be fine. And you can't upgrade these. Chemical plants are what they are. And then let's do one final thing here with the robot manufacturing, and just upgrade the assembly machines to the assembler 3s. And I think everything is going to be fine with this. I would have to redo this math in order to make sure, but I think everything is fine here. And because I don't have this plan worked out, although I guess I kind of do. If I go into the flying robot frames it's used for science, and I instead just say that I want to do 8 flying robot frame factories, I can look at what we need for ingredients. We need to have iron, lubricant, green circuits. There's red circuits too. Steel. Is that all that's coming in? Yeah. So, and batteries. We need 1 battery per second. So we're fine there. And steel, 1 also. That's fine. 2.5 green circuits. We're fine there, even with whatever these use, which isn't much. And iron, we needed 2 per second. So that's, yeah, a fraction of a belt. So this robot manufacturing here is more than fine, even at assembler 3s. And so this is where I want to leave off, is right here at blue circuits, because I know blue circuits are going to need some sort of upgrade. So I want to leave off here and pick back up in the next episode after the bots finish their workout a little bit, and start working on blue circuits, and then continuing further along the bus, doing upgrades and double checking numbers. So thank you all for joining me, and I will see you next time. Bye for now.